Welcome to a new series here on The Charge, hosted by myself, Pete. In this series, we're going to be taking a closer look at some of the 2019 NBA draft prospects and trying to determine what would be the best fit, reasonable fit in the NBA as far as teams that could draft them. And first up is going to be R.J. Barrett, so let's just jump right into it. Standing at 6'8" with a 6'9" wingspan and a 190-pound frame, R.J. Barrett has a staggering amount of athleticism. On top of that, he has an incomprehensibly diverse skill set to back up those athletic traits. RJ has also already shown that he has a winner's mentality with going along with his attack-oriented play style and, real high motor and intelligence on defense to go along with that really devastating offensive game that he has. At just the young age of 18, he's already shown us more than this bum up here. But that's kind of besides the point, really. But I just don't like this guy. I got to call him out every once in a while because the potential was there for him. And I think R.J. Barrett is going to be the guy to come out of Canada and really show that the Canadian youth system is developing some real generational talent. Wherever Barrett ends up getting drafted, I think his ideal position is going to be the point forward that's kind of dominating the NBA today. That's what a lot of teams dream of having, is that 6'8", 6'9" player who's really long, take over the court, run down, and initiate offense quickly. R.J. Barrett really fits that style. So with that being said, I'm going to cross off a couple teams that are going to be in the range to get him, just because I think it would conflict with some of the other players that they already have. First and foremost, the Atlanta Hawks. Also, the Dallas Mavericks. I think both of those teams, by drafting Trae Young and Luka Doncic respectively, they've kind of made a situation where a guy like R.J. Barrett doesn't really fit the style of offense that they should play. And it would conflict with the development of Trae Young and Luka and R.J. Barrett if he goes to one of those two teams. I just don't think the partnership works as well as it should. And there's other guys in this draft who we'll get to in later videos who would fit them a lot better. I'm also going to cross off the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Washington Wizards, just because they're a bunch of bums. They don't deserve this guy, so let's move on. Teams in particular that I really love for R.J. Barrett: the Phoenix Suns and my beloved New York Knicks, which is a bit of a homer pick. However, he fits what both of these teams need very well. They're both teams in desperate need of just a person to lead the offense. Neither team has that person to bring the court up, a point guard, a traditional point guard, or a point forward that can lead the team offensively, initiate their offense, call plays, and do all the things that are needed in today's offense-centric game. When you look at the New York Knicks as a possible fit for RJ, the fit is pretty clear. RJ is already a star in the making. He's been making a lot of highlight plays, been making his name known since his sophomore year in high school, and even before that, really. But he was in the spotlight, especially to me, since kind of his sophomore year going into his junior year, when he was playing in more international tournaments, getting lots of buckets for his teams. And this guy will do it at every level of play that he ever gets to. And the Knicks in New York, the Mecca, that is the perfect place for R.J. Barrett to cement his legacy as just this profound Canadian player who can do it all on the court, offensively making highlight plays night in and night out. The Knicks are always looking for that guy, and they've tried multiple times. They've missed out multiple times, and the R.J. Barrett would be the guy. And like I already mentioned, he's the perfect fit alongside Porzingis. And there's no player that his style would really conflict with on the Knicks. The only player I can think of is Tim Hardaway Jr., but besides Tim Hardaway Jr., the Knicks really don't need him. And if you can go check out my other Knicks videos, he's not the guy of the future. R.J. Barrett is clearly the guy of the future, so if it conflicts with Tim Hardaway Jr.'s playstyle, who cares? He fits alongside Porzingis perfectly. He fits alongside Frank Ntilikina. He fits alongside Kevin Knox, a guy who can really lead their offense, get those guys open looks in the lane or on the perimeter, and then really it frees up the lane for him to dribble drive and show his pick and roll game, pass out to the outside game. As far as a young team with David Fizdale as the player development coach that we know he is, this is about as good of a fit as it has been for the Knicks in a long time. Look at Phoenix, the fit is also pretty clear. Devin Booker, like I mentioned, has tried his hand at being the primary ball handler for the team, and it really just doesn't work. This is a team that's been looking for that kind of player, this primary ball handling, offense initiating guy for the better part of the last decade. The one problem I do see with the Phoenix Suns is that, like I've already said a few times, R.J. Barrett is a star. And in a lot of cases when you have young guys who are stars, and maybe his tenure at Duke will prove me wrong, because he is playing along two probable future NBA stars as well in Zion and Cam Reddish. However, I do worry when there's a guy like Devin Booker who's already kind of an established star in the NBA, and then you have DeAndre Ayton who's well on his way to becoming an established star as well, that R.J. Barrett becoming the primary ball handler and being as good as he is could take away touches from them, and it could create some kind of chemistry issues. And, you know, I wouldn't worry as much if the coaching staff was more ingrained and had their foothold a little bit more than this Phoenix Suns team does. But, I mean, the fit is pretty clear, like I've said. I do worry for them that there's so much going on already in the way of young stars that they could all kind of butt heads, maybe conflict a little bit in terms of how much they're shooting the ball and how many touches they get per game. But I wouldn't worry about it too much if they're in position to take R.J. Barrett. One last thing for both of those two teams, the two ideal fits that I've given in this video, neither of them are winners. Both of those teams, especially the Knicks, are just traditionally losers. They always find a way to be bad, whether or not they have good players on the team. The Knicks and Phoenix in the mid-2000s had some years where they were really, really solid, had championship aspirations, got really close. However, it just never happened. And, you know, the big thing for the Knicks, too, is just whenever we have somebody good, they're not a winner either. R.J. Barrett is a winner. He's established himself by taking, you know, not necessarily a bad Canadian under-19 team, but he basically led them single-handedly to an international FIBA World Championship. And, you know, that is so incredibly impressive, but that kind of thing leads me more to believe that this guy's winner mentality could bleed onto others, and he could help them become winners. And, you know, I love the team that the Knicks are putting together, some of the young guys, but it's another team of people who have never won really anything important, minus like high school basketball championships. But that doesn't matter. A lot of these guys in the NBA have already done that. But taking a team on an international tournament by yourself and scoring as many points as he did, getting as many rebounds, assists as he did, is so impressive that I view R.J. Barrett as the possible kind of culture changer in a locker room. All in all, I think R.J. Barrett is the most talented player in this NBA draft, possibly of the last decade. Realistically, he to me looks like a generational talent. And I know that Anthony Davis was less than 10 years ago, but you know, at the time, I thought Anthony Davis was going to be good, but R.J. Barrett, when I look at him, he looks like the kind of guy that can take any team and give them an extra 10 wins by himself. That's how important I view him as an offensive. He's almost like, when you look at the statistics and the plus minus that he puts up in games and how effective he is, even when he doesn't shoot very well, the guy still can make a team win just by his presence on the court. That's how scary offensively this guy has already become. And you saw how it went in the Duke-Kentucky game. I know that a lot of people had their jaws agape at Zion Williamson, but to me, I know he wasn't nearly as effective or efficient from the field as Zion, but R.J. Barrett was so impressive. And he was the one opening up all the open looks for Zion and Cam Reddish throughout the game. This guy is going to be an NBA star for a long time, and whoever gets him is going to be really lucky. The point of these videos is not to say that I think he's actually going to go to the Knicks or to the Phoenix Suns. I think there's a really good chance that Atlanta has the #1 pick, and they might take him, but they might also take Zion, and he might be there at number 2. It happens. I think that R.J. Barrett is going to be the guy, and you know, if I'm any of the teams in the top 5, this is the kind of guy that you absolutely tank for. So I'm ready for the Knicks to tank all year. If I was a Phoenix Suns fan, I would hope that they would tank again. There's a lot of teams in the league that could use a guy like R.J. Barrett. Basically every team could use R.J. Barrett. He's that good. He would start on practically any team in the NBA currently where he's at. And he's in college and he's 18 years old. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about my analysis. What do you think about my 2 picks as really just good fits for R.J. Barrett or fits for the team? Let me know what you think. Tell me who you would pick, who you would want to see R.J. Barrett play for. And also, I'll get to Zion later, but let me know if you would take Zion over RJ or RJ over Zion. Or maybe there's some Cam Reddish fans out there that would like to see him go first. Anyway, guys, this has been your boy Pete over at The Charge. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Peace.